Hi guys, here from Vienna on the way to the pro-European EU37 demonstration to call for European unity. It's the natural role of Vienna to be the hub of all the 9 countries to be united together, because it makes no sense to be divided and to share whatever kind of animosities between Kosovo, Ukraine, between Albania and Georgia. This is all bad. Yeah? We must be united. And it is absolutely logical that Vienna is the hub where all these beautiful places, they come together, because many of them already here in Vienna, they really love to travel here, to invest here, to work here, to live here, and that's very good. It's also natural. It's something very logical. It was the imperial capital of Central Europe for many centuries, and then Vienna should be the natural hub where all the countries, they overcome their internal divisions, because we are not a divide and emperor kind of empire. We are just a normal EU member state with the same like all EU member states, to call for unity, and also our civil society to say yes to Ukraine, yes to Kosovo, yes to Albania, yes to Macedonia, yes to Montenegro, yes to Serbia, yes to Bosnia, yes to Georgia, yes to Moldova in the European Union. And you know, that's the natural place. Yeah? Who really wants to live under the hammer blows of Russian aggression? Who really wants to live under artillery bombardment to be liberated from something nobody was really afraid of? I mean, the choice to join a voluntary union, to be united as a free country, as a free nation, and to be ready to then say yes to a voluntary union. This is the right of all free people in Europe. Russia cannot kill people just to reject this. I mean, that's outrageous. That's more than outrageous. It's a criminal act what Russia is doing. And the way to overcome and to contain Russia and their brutality is obviously the unity in the European Union. And we had this right after the fall of the Soviet Union. Let's never forget, we couldn't join the European Union as long as the Soviet Union didn't allow it. They were blocking us. I know that very well. My generation was blocked from joining the European Union by the Soviet Union. And then when they fell and they broke in the economic incompetence and the energy weapon, of course, we deployed as a revenge for the Afghanistan intervention, and the Saudi Arabians and the Chinese and everybody and the Americans flooded the market, and they broke. They had no money more for the global expansion, and that's why I call so much. We have to cut the Russian energy, because that's their tool to dominate the world and trying to dominate. And we have to make sure that we end this tool of power which the Russian and before the Soviet Union had in order to dominate the poor smaller countries in between the Western Hemisphere and themselves. And they have done that terribly after the Second World War for so long, for 40 years, and this is absolute disaster. Freedom is reality in the European Union. Also prosperity is reality. I'm here in one of the most prosperous streets of Vienna, and people can come here, shop here, invest here. It's the world. Because of American protection, because of NATO, because of the EU, because of our democracy, property rights. Yeah? And it's working very well. All these sayers are right. We have here this opportunity, and this is what the Ukrainians have seen when Poland joined NATO and later the EU. This was led to the Orange Revolution. This is the driving force of all the, it's not the CIA sponsored things. It's the prosperity, security, the freedom of Europe inside NATO and EU, which was really happening in 2004 and 7 and 13 and all these years. Yeah? This is what is so attractive for the Ukrainians and for the Georgians, for the Kosovo people and for the Moldovans, for the Georgians. And of course the countries are complicated. It's no shit Sherlock. Yes, they are complicated, but we were also very complicated. And it's now time to say a clear yes to these countries in the European Union. We can no longer block them just to appease Russia and a few to have a nice business lunch with OMV and CEOs and whatever, Mr. Seele, and then they make millions, and the many others, the taxpayers and energy consumers, are hurt because we have to see it long term, and the Russian business was a disaster. In Soviet times it was a disaster. It was later then put on the taxpayers' bill, and also now in the last 30 years again a complete disaster, just for the few connected, maybe the shareholders, but for the overall taxpayers, when we make the final count of the Russian disaster, a disaster. So costly and such a strategic failure. Yes, I call for unity. We can live without Russian energy, we can live without Russian money, absolutely fine. The world is free, and the freedom there works. Yeah? And so I call for unity, and please support Ukraine in the European Union. Thanks a lot for that. More to come during this Action Day for European unity and enlargement. Also follow the hashtag EnlargeEU tag, and more to come from this beautiful day. Bye.